Teams are on the field. We are readying for kickoff between Ryan and Longview. And before the kick, let's send it down to the third member of our team today, our sideline reporter, Chris Mikoski.
All right, Doug, and I'd like to welcome in those of you joining us from East Texas on KTPN, The Z, and KETK.com. Great to have you part of our presentation of Texas high school football. Let's look at the two head coaches, starting with Denton Ryan and Dave Hennigan, who has led the Ryan Raiders to 6 straight undefeated regular seasons and playoff success, including 3 trips to the state semifinals and 1 to the championship round. His son Seth is the Ryan QB and a true extension of the head coach on the field. John King's son Haynes played QB for him at Longview and is now in his freshman season at Texas A&M. Coach King has led the Lobos since 2004, winning 188 games, 14 district titles, and a state championship in 2018.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. And indeed, we welcome those watching in East Texas this afternoon. Happy to have you with us in the Tyler Longview area as we get ready for the kickoff here at Mesquite Memorial Stadium. Billy Bowman and Garyon Robinson are back to receive for Denton Ryan. And the kick, Antonio Onofre on its way, sailing through the end zone. It will be a touchback. And while they get set, let's give you the keys to the game. For the Ryan Raiders, very simply, you've got to stop the running attack of Longview. That's what they do best. Capital gains. When you have an opportunity, you have to take advantage of it. And the 1-2 punch. Number 1, Jatavian Sanders. Number 2, Billy Bowman. Those 2 guys alone can beat anybody with Ryan helmets on today.
The Lobos have to run the ball. 278 yards rushing per game. They've got to create some takeaways. Ryan does not throw the ball away, so they've got to get that extra possession and bring the A game because this is the number 1 team in the state they're going up against today.
Big run on first down. Caleb Hicks. 16 yards on first down for the Raiders. The sophomore running back coming in averaging 8.7 a carry.
Well, you see right up the middle, this offensive line showing you some work. Watch these big bodies get their hands on these green shirts, and it doesn't take a lot to maintain that block because Hicks can hit the hole very quickly.
Seth Hennigan with a toss of 4 yards up to the 45-yard line. Reagan Cunningham with the reception. 2nd down and 6 on the way for Ryan.
You know, I've always stuck for Denton Ryan. Seth Hennigan, he's been the starter for a long time. He's the key piece to make this thing go. He's always going to have the talent around him. The offensive line is always going to be solid, but if he could just play his game and use the resources, very tough to beat this Ryan team.
Bowman open, near sideline, makes a move, 30, and knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. A 28-yard pickup for the University of Oklahoma signee, Billy Bowman Jr.
Now, we've seen this young man for several years now as a starter. We see him do a little bit of everything and special teams. He can play some defense, but I think he is an excellent weapon in that offense, especially when he's split out wide and even in the slot positions.
Caleb Hicks in the backfield with Seth Hennigan. First down for the Raiders on the opening drive. Pass to Bowman. And Bowman looks for running room in the middle of the field. Picked up about 6 to the 21.
You're seeing a little bit of the maturation of Seth Hennigan. He's going up into the line, and you see him put his hand, says, hold on. Let me change this play, get my protection set. I like the matchup on the outside with Billy Bowman Jr. Let's run this slant and get us a quick 5 yards, 6 yards here on that play.
Second down, the Raiders needing 4. Hennigan, the keeper, 20, 15, 10, and slides for a 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. 12-yard run for the University of Memphis signee, Seth Hennigan.
Well, this defense, the last person they're looking for to run the ball is Seth Hennigan. He's not a run threat, but with the read option being effective, it catches the defense by surprise, and it worked to perfection there.
Some substitutions for the Raiders as they go into 1st and goal mode. Anthony Hill Jr. on a wing. He'll block, and Jatavian Sanders will take the direct snap and carry it to the 5-yard line. A pickup of 4, the first appearance of the afternoon for the wide receiver slash defensive end, Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah, and this arguably is one of the top athletes in the state. I'm talking any classification. This kid is dynamic with the football, but he's a beast of a player, not at the wide receiver position, but at defensive end. And you see it there. All 11 Lobo defenders get a hand on him just to get him down. But he gets some cheap yards there. They're inching closer to the goal line.
Sanders stays at the quarterback position. He will run it inside the 5 and into the end zone. Popped as he goes in, but no problem for Jatavian Sanders. And Ryan on the board first here in Mesquite.
Well, you talk about a statement drive. That was almost nearly perfection on this drive. And look at this. Anytime you have that quarterback or that athlete that is taking the direct snap, you have the advantage against the defense. They have more blockers than you have defenders. And he waltzes his way into the end zone, and that is a statement opening drive here by the Raiders.
Extra point good, and Ryan indeed makes the statement on drive number 1, led by number 1, Jatavian Sanders. Denton Ryan scores on their opening drive to make it 7-0. Denton Ryan ranked number 1 in the state in Class 5A Division I. They're taking on the number 8 Longview Lobos this afternoon, and the winner gets number 2 Highland Park next week in the state quarterfinals. So you're talking about heavy-duty company with these teams this late in the season.
Highland Park always got something to say about it, don't they? Especially when it gets late in the season, late in the playoff push. The Scots always going to have some say in this thing.
Kick taken to the 30 on the run and up to the 40-yard line. Nice 10-yard return there for the Lobos, DeKalian Taylor. And now the Lobos with the ball for the first time this afternoon. And it will be Jordan Allen coming out at quarterback. We weren't sure at the beginning because both Jordan Allen and Landon Grant were warming up equally, and even the PA announcer, when announcing the starting lineups, announced Landon Grant as the starter. But it is Jordan Allen who will go into that quarterback position for the first time this afternoon. And he will hand off to Markavian Haynes. The opening carry goes a yard, but there's a penalty flag on the play. You got 2 1,000-plus yard rushers in the backfield for Longview. Caden Meredith, 1,300 yards and 26 touchdowns. And that young man, Markavian Haynes, 1,177 yards and 13 TDs.
And this is going to be their toughest test of the year by far. This offensive line is going to be tested to the ultimate max because this is a very big and athletic defensive front. Jatavian Sanders obviously leads that group.
Backfield on the offense. 5 penalty. Replay first down.
Scott Burke's our referee today. His crew coming up from the Houston area to call the game this afternoon.
Yeah, you just don't want to get too far behind these chains here as well against this defense. And Doug, we've seen it too many times when you have an athletic front seven like the Denton Ryan Raiders, and they know you're about to pass the ball or have to do something to pull out a hat. They are too good for that. And a lot of pressure on this offense. They got to get back on track and on schedule here.
Allen just demolished as he was getting ready to throw. A 6-yard loss on the play. Ty Marsh coming in from that safety position and just levels Jordan Allen.
Yeah, this is just a blown assignment into protection. But as a quarterback, you've got to be leery. When you don't throw and you double clutch that pass, that Spider-Man sense has to go off, and you've got to make your mind up quickly or you're going to get hit in the back.
Marsh, such a versatile player. He can line up outside linebacker or at safety. And just a dangerous element to consider on that Ryan defense. Allen lets one go deep downfield. It's caught at the 35-yard line. A 36-yard pickup. Jalen Hale, the sophomore, with the reception. And I was hoping we'd get a chance to talk about this young man today. Here's our first opportunity.
Well, Billy Bowman Jr. is playing inside technique, and he's trying to run the post. Hale is. He does an excellent job of swimming him and getting to the middle, and the pass has just enough to bring the receiver open. That's going to be a good matchup right there between Jalen Hale and Billy Bowman Jr.
Jalen Hale, just a sophomore, by far the leading receiver for the Lobos this year. Hand off to Haynes. Markavian Haynes inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Picks up about 4. Hale already, as a sophomore, has offers from Texas, Georgia, and several other Power 5 programs.
You know, he just looks the part, and especially if you play in a John King offense, you're expected to block downfield, and that makes him a physical complement to why he can run really the entire route tree of routes. And so, yeah, he's a special guy. They're going to need him to make those big plays downfield.
It's Haynes in the backfield. Allen looking downfield, will throw, and it's out of bounds.
That's late.
Austin Pinchon was the intended receiver on the near sideline, but too much coverage by the Raider defense.
Yeah, this is a sophomore mistake here. Even though this is the 12th game of the year, he's got to know where he's going with the ball. You're not going to have time to scan the defense and try to get that perfect pass. He had his receiver, Austin Pinchon, wide open at the 20-yard line. Got to pull that trigger, young man.
It's now 3rd and 6. Allen goes under center. Dave Meredith, the single setback, he'll take the handoff. And Meredith pushes his way to a first down. 6-yard gain, our first appearance of the afternoon for Caden Meredith.
Well, this offensive line is not big, Doug, but watch the technique. That center does a great job. Connor Cox, he sets that little inside edge, and they don't need to maintain the block long either, because Caden Meredith with Alan Jackson, once they get in there, obviously Markavian Haynes, these guys are 88 and out the gate when they hit the line of scrimmage. Good job by the offensive line to get going there.
Meredith checks out, Haynes back in. Allen to throw, and the ball is batted up in the air, and to the turf it goes. Ball was knocked down by Anthony Hill Jr., and then Hill, for good measure, knocked down Jordan Allen. That's what Longview fans are screaming about below us here at Mesquite Memorial Stadium. They want a penalty.
Well, I think what's going on here, watch him knock the pass down first and foremost. Now, he doesn't know where the ball is. He's looking at the quarterback thinking that he might get it, so he's taking him out. And that's why that's not a flag on that play.
That's a clean play.
Yeah. That was not a cheap shot. That was just playing heads-up football. You want to eliminate anybody to make a play on that ball.
The Longview crowd will be loud today. There is a ton of East Texas fans here at Mesquite Memorial this afternoon.
Well, you thought they were about 45 minutes north of here. Good.
Longview calling a timeout on the opening drive. They are trying to tie the ball game as Ryan leads at 7-0. 6:05 left in the first quarter of this one. And of course, if you're just joining us, welcome to Mesquite Memorial Stadium. This is Class 5A Division I. the Region 2 semifinals. Take a look at the Lobos on the year. Already with a big win over Lufkin. They defeated Lancaster in convincing fashion last week here in Mesquite, 56-20. 2018 state champions, as Chris alluded to at the beginning of the broadcast. And this team over the last several years, they've played some great seasons. 11-1 last year, state championship in 2018. 2017, they made it to the state championship game, losing to Waco Midway.
That's a lot of great football played. You see that district 50-5. My goodness, dominant. We don't get to see them that much in this area, but make no mistake about it, this is one of the premier football programs in the state of Texas.
Hand off to Haynes. Breaking tackles inside the 20, still on his feet.
Oh.
And the pile moves all the way to the 11-yard line. It's an 11-yard gain from Arcavian Haynes.
Well, he's built like a truck, and look at those thighs. He keeps his legs moving. He's just the perfect complement to Caden Meredith. And if you want to look for that prototypical fullback, I'm telling you, number 17 is the guy. Man, that is an attitude one that gets the fans involved, that gets his team involved, and they're knocking on the door here.
8th play of the drive coming up. Hand off to Meredith. Oh, Meredith hit the hole hard and was hit hard by Anthony Hill Jr. Assisting on the play for the Raiders was Michael G. But Kay Meredith came in hard and he took a little punishment for it. 2-yard gain.
Anthony Hill is going to be a problem for this offense today. They move him all over the place. Now, he's listed as one of these linebackers, but I'm going to tell you, they're going to put him on the line of scrimmage at some point in time for an extra pass rusher if needed.
Haynes and Meredith in the backfield. Allen will throw to the end zone. It goes. Ball tipped away. Billy Bowman Jr. knocked it out of the field of play. It was intended for Justin Beltran.
Boy, that is an all-world defensive play by Billy Bowman Jr. Watch him here. He's beat, but look at the athleticism to climb the ladder, Doug, and knock this thing down. It's a pretty good ball. He had to throw it high, but Billy Bowman Jr. climbs up and gets it out of there.
And we'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Lobos. Just outside the 10-yard line on this opening drive.
Just so tough to score points against this defense. Just under 16 points a game. You got to make them count when you get down here in the red zone.
Allen throwing the ball deep to the corner of the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Jalen Hale, the sophomore, got free. And he reels it in as Longview pulls to within 1.
And there's a problem right there for this Raiders defense. And I don't know what Billy Bowman was looking at. He's got inside technique. You got to guard yourself against that flag route here to the corner. And it's a perfect pass by the young sophomore quarterback. That's how you respond. That's how you bail your team out and give your guy a chance to make a play in the end zone.
No play with the extra point. It's good. And boy, do you think East Texas fans are having a fun time watching a sophomore to a sophomore. Jordan Allen, Jalen Hale, and we've got a tie ball game.
Coming to CW 33 this January, Justice comes home with a new generation of Texas Rangers. Supernatural's Jared Padalecki stars as Walker. Don't miss the series premiere Thursday, January 21st on CW 33. Jalen Hale bringing in a touchdown pass for Longview, tying the game at 7 here in the first quarter. Hale was placed on the varsity team at the beginning of his freshman campaign and stuck. Coach King says that is the first time he's ever had a 9th grader on varsity for a full season. And guys, one reason it worked, his 2 older brothers are on the team. They helped push him, as they do in everything else in life.
There you go. It's always that sibling rivalry that makes those younger guys rise up, isn't it?
It is.
Kick goes through the end zone. Now the Raiders will have it for the second time this afternoon. Both teams firing an opening shot and scoring touchdowns on their first drives. The Raiders a perfect 11-0 on the season in the playoffs, dominating victories over Bryan Adams and College Station. And look at that record in district play since 2015, LD.
Yeah, 40-0. We were kind of joking about that at the beginning of the broadcast, and it's been a long time since they lost a game in district.
Michael Davis with the reception for the Raiders. Picked up 8 yards on the play. Second down and 8 coming up.
Well, you know, the Lobos certainly answered the score. But Denton Ryan had really kind of a stress-free kind of drive to get down there, whereas the Lobos kind of had to work a little bit. Nonetheless, it all counts the same. Let's re-rack. Let's do it again here.
Hicks on the handoff. Caleb Hicks only managed a yard as he was tackled by Jacavian Carr. Now penalty flags at the end of the play.
That's getting a little chippy. And this may actually go against the Ryan Raiders. One of the offensive linemen, I think it might have been Riley Hampton. He was upset about something, but he was the last guy kind of with his hand in the cookie jar and kind of threw a punch, I want to say, too.
Let's get a look at it on the replay if we can, as the officials talk things over. Jacavian Carr with the tackle, a 6'2 senior at defensive end, coming in with 16 tackles for loss on the year, 8 sacks. They'll pick the flag up. Longview fans not pleased about that. They saw what you saw.
Yeah. Letting them play a little bit, you know. And definitely don't want penalties to decide this type of game, this type of matchup. Let these kids settle it between the two.
Michael G is in at fullback. And Anthony Hill Jr. is the running back. So 2 defensive stars in the offensive backfield for the Raiders. It'll be a handoff to Hill. And he is wrapped up. Dropped for no gain. 4th and 1 coming up. Tackle on the play was made by Longview, and Devian Isaac was leading the charge.
Now watch number 3 come in at the end of this to finish it off. That's Cabrian Jackson Jamerson coming in from that outside linebacker position. Devian Isaac, boy, I tell you what, that is reading the play and taking on that initial blocker and filling that gap.
Raiders going for it on 4th and 1. Same offensive set. The pitch to Hill. Hill's fighting for that yard.
Now,
I don't think he got it.
Oh, second effort.
Second effort got it for him. Boy, he was stopped. And the continuation just allowed him that extra time he needed to push it to the 35-yard line and pick up that first down.
Yeah, watch this. This defense reads this perfectly. And look at him stretch it out. Good technique, get low, but right there, that extra effort gets the first down. Had to cross the 35-yard line.
Now Caleb Hicks is back in the backfield. Hennigan, quick toss to Sanders. And Jatavian Sanders upended after about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that's a nice play. That's the only way you can tackle the big man. is to go for those legs. And I think to Cameron Thomas, number 16, he's one of these safeties. He's lined up outside, and he shoots that gap beautifully to make the play with the wide receiver screen.
Inning to throw. Back to Sanders. Good for a first down at the 48-yard line. That time an 11-yard gain for Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah, they just got to figure out what they want to do with Jatavian Sanders. And all these teams this year have had the problem, actually the last few years, to say that. Do you play him head up? Do you give him a little cushion and gang tackle? What do you do? And I think Dylan Davis does a pretty good job of just keeping him in front. You don't want him to get out in the open space. He's a handful.
First down for the Raiders near midfield. Second possession for Denton Ryan. Pass to Bowman. And Bowman makes the catch, picks up 6, stopped at the 49-yard line. Or 44, make it the 46. Let's get our yard markers right here this afternoon.
Well, Billy Bowman Jr. running that deep slant. I say deep, it's actually about a 3-4 yard route, but he split out so wide. So you see a lot of space out here at the bottom of the screen. Look at that split there. He's at the bottom of the numbers, so it's really anything they want to do to the inside. We'll see them come back to that later.
Pass, good for a first down inside the 40, out of bounds near the 38-yard line. Michael Davis.
Now, these Lobo defenders are not afraid of contact, and the toughest tackle to make is this open field tackle. But there's Cameron Thomas again. If you play safety at this level, you better be a headbanger, because that's what you've got to do. These talented skill players in the open field is a really, really tough challenge.
Caleb Hicks in the backfield. Hennigan looking downfield, now will run, and he dives for about 7 yards up to the 31-yard line.
And that's all you need from Seth Hennigan. You don't need him to be a 100-yard rusher. You just need him when the pass breaks down, pass protection breaks down, his first 2 reads are covered. Turn yourself into an athlete, keep the chains moving.
That's one of the area's top passers right there, 2,800 yards coming into the ball game, and the Raiders will let the first quarter expire here at Mesquite Memorial Stadium. 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Raiders. They are locked in a battle with Longview. The game tied at 7 at the end of the first. So far, a fun one at Mesquite Memorial Stadium this afternoon. Jatavian Sanders and company tied up with Longview's Lobos at 7 as we go to the second.